Christian Clark here. Just starting off with Trey. What did you guys like about him? How early, were you guys kind of in on him? What was the feeling like in the room when he was there at 17?
He's a guy that we've, I think picked up steam with our scouts as the year went along. Transferred from Rice after his first couple of years in school to Virginia. And didn't know a whole lot about him, honestly, going into the season, obviously, with the shutdown last year and then him transferring. But as we started to analyze and assess different prospects, he was a guy that our group grew increasingly high on. And in this draft process, when he came in and he visited, he had a really good workout, shot the ball really well, and just his characteristics and his traits, high level, high character kid, really, like I said, long, wing defender, slants that way, really gives effort defensively, and can really shoot the ball. High character kid with a high IQ, coming from a really, really good program and wants to be coached hard. All those things coming together, I think, fit what we're trying to do here very well. We're super excited about bringing him into the Pels organization. High character kid with a high IQ, coming from a really, really good program.
Hey, Trajan. Was he somebody who was on the radar at 10 maybe, and were you guys just happy that he was still there at 17?
I don't know that he was on the radar at 10. I mean, we liked him a lot. We're extremely happy that we got him. We had him higher on our board than we had him at 17. I'll tell you that. So for him to get there, we had a couple guys pegged that we thought would get there, and those other guys went higher. But he's a guy that we wanted, we targeted, and we're extremely happy to get him.
How are you guys? Hey, what's up, Trajan? This is Will from The Athletic. How are you guys feeling when Herb Jones was still on the board there in the second round for you guys?
Man, we were ecstatic. I mean, he's a guy that obviously is right here in our region. Have watched him a lot live over the years. Obviously, with COVID this past year, it was hard to get to see him in person, but watched a ton of him on tape. They're an exciting team to watch. SEC Player of the Year, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and to have him, I think his hometown is about 2.5 hours from here. So everything that he brings, high character, young man, came from a great program. Obviously, it speaks for himself, the things that he accomplished there at the University of Alabama, and we're incredibly excited to have him here. So we think he can do a lot of things and be in the NBA a really long time, and I hope he's with us for a really long time.
Was that a priority for you guys going in, getting big wing defenders like Trey and Herb, or was it just the way the board kind of fell for you guys?
That's a great question. I think I don't know that we went in targeting that. I think definitely at 17, it's something that we wanted. At 35, I thought we wanted high character human beings. We've talked about that for a long time. I think the one thing that we wanted to do this summer was bring in, defensive slanted guys, high basketball IQ guys, and shooting. And I think we did that with these two players, both high character guys that can really bring a lot of versatility on the defensive end. One can really shoot the ball. One of them can play make. And I think he shot the ball really well. That's something that Herb is still working on. But two guys that we really, really like and will implement really well with the guys that we already have on our roster.
Trajan, Christian Clark here again. You hit on it a little bit, but characteristics that you guys are looking for this summer. But, just looking back at last year's record, not where you wanted it, but a number of those games are very close. I mean, what qualities do you feel like you guys are just prioritizing this summer, whether it was through the draft or free agency, that you feel like, are essential to bring in for next year's roster?
I think high character, highly competitive guys that are team first. And I think we got that with these two guys. And they're excited to be here. There's two guys that wanted to be here in New Orleans. One of them, when we talked to him, got extremely emotional. The other was in the middle of, kind of celebrating with his family. So both very, very excited to be here, which is important for us. We want players, we want people that want to be here in New Orleans and be here as part of our organization that we can grow with long term. And I think we have that with these two guys, but they're highly competitive. They're versatile on both ends of the floor, and they'll fit in seamlessly with our group. And we look forward to, to develop them and have them here for a long time.
Is there anything more you can share just about, the moment when you said, hey, you're going to be New Orleans Pelican, as far as the emotions that came from these players?
You know what? We don't talk to him a whole lot. We'll talk to him more tomorrow, but it's just, hey, it was a brief conversation with a lot of different people. I think Trey was in North Carolina having a party someplace with a lot of people, draft party. I think Herb was home. But I mean, we want to let them enjoy the night with their family and their friends and the people in their circle that are surrounding and they're celebrating with that are special to them. And we'll have a long time with them going forward. But this is a night for them. We're extremely happy for them. It's a dream come true for all of these kids. So we'll have more than enough time to spend with them in the upcoming days and in summer league in terms of getting to know them. But we're extremely excited to add both of these two guys to our group.
Hey, Trajan, this is Fletcher from NBC in New Orleans. Not that I expect you to get too specific, but it just seemed like there was a lot of talk about teams wanting to move up, teams wanting to move back. There was a lot of movement in this draft. How much discussion did you all have, or how much were you all approached by other teams about 17th pick in even moving back or doing, more deals than you did tonight? I guess how active of a night was this maybe compared to other years for you?
It's a good question, Fletcher. Honestly, coming into tonight, it was eerily silent for the last 3 days. It's as silent a draft as I've been part of in my time in the NBA. I think initially when we did the Memphis trade and we were sitting, or the proposed Memphis trade that we've agreed upon, obviously that's not going to be executed until August, but we got some calls on 17 when people knew that we were holding, but we really, really like 17. And so it's not something that we were trying to move. We felt that we could get a player there that we really, really liked. And so we were sitting there. Of course, teams did call on it, but we sat there, we were comfortable, and we got the guy that we wanted there. So it wasn't crazy active, obviously, with the number of second round picks that we had. We were fielding a lot of calls, a couple picks ahead of time, but it wasn't as crazy as it usually is, where you have 20 different things on the board. They kind of came as the draft came. And it was busy. It got frantic at different times because we were holding so many seconds, but we're very happy with what we came away with tonight.
And hey, last one, I just wanted to know, what has this whole process been like? I guess kind of trying to evaluate guys, not being able to really travel. What is the process, the entire draft process been like for Bryson and the team of trying to figure out what exactly is happening right now with all these guys?
Yeah, it's interesting because when you look back last year, we actually had a better process because we got to see 30 to 35 games pretty much live before the shutdown, but then we didn't get the workouts. And then you fast forward to this year, we didn't get to see guys live, but then we got the workouts at the end. We got Chicago and we got the workouts, which are things that we didn't have. So I credit our scouts in the last two drafts and Bryce and Graham for doing an incredible job. I think we got a lot of intel. We got a lot of information. We watched a boatload of film and got our input from our scouts, which allowed us to put our board together that we were incredibly comfortable with, and allowed us to make informed decisions, which is all this is about, that we're comfortable with at the end of the day, bringing in these young prospects to be part of our program and our organization going forward. So a lot of credit goes to Bryson and our scouting staff. They did a tremendous job. It's always challenging. But our Bryson pushes our staff, and our guys have been great.